Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Debo D. On today's episode, we are going to be working on the Dodge Stealth. We developed a small oil leak, and I think I know where it's coming from. We've essentially rebuilt the motor, we put brand new turbos on it, but it's starting to drip underneath. So I believe it's the turbo return oil line, based off of what's kind of leaking in the garage. So we're going to pull it out, put it up, inspect it, and I'll show you how to fix it, but stay tuned. So this is essentially what we're working with. So anybody who's had an older car in the garage, usually it's easy to put a piece of cardboard down, and then you can see if there's any drips. You can see there's a small oil leak on that side. It's dripping enough that it's starting to soak the cardboard, but I gotta address it because it is getting nice out, and I want to drive this, so really don't want to blow anything up. With that being said, we're going to do this little project on ramps. It's going to be easier for me just to pull out the ramps, drive the Stealth up on it, and then we can crawl underneath it, especially with the slope of the driveway. And I do kind of work with with limited room. This side is obviously the garage with all of my stuff, and literally it's just kind of like piled everywhere. And then we have the opposite side where we kind of just hang out. We'll shoot some darts, watch some TV, or just hang out and chill. So let's get this at the garage, up on the ramps. So the fun part is that it's so low to the ground I can't get the front end up. So I'm going to jack it up and then slide the ramps underneath it. I just want to get you in here. Looks like the oil is running. You can kind of see it right there. So looks like it's running down, splattering against the engine, dripping down. We're getting a small little puddle underneath there. Well, at least That's one that I see. I'm starting to see a couple others. I wonder if this oil pan needs to be tightened down. New copper gasket. Well, I see fresh oil in between that, so I'm going to try to tighten that first. And like any good import, the majority of the stuff that you need for this car to take it apart, are you ready? 10 millimeter. It's literally 10 millimeter everything on this thing. So I'm going to crawl underneath, try to tighten that up, see if that stops the leak. As silly as that sounds, that's pretty much all I'm going to do on this now. I was able to tighten up the oil return line on here. So it wasn't super loose, but it wasn't also extremely tight, if that makes sense. I was able to get at least another turn and a half in there. So I'm going to crawl back underneath it. I'm going to clean up all the oil. I'm going to run it. I'll park it back in the garage with a fresh piece of cardboard just to check to see if it's still leaking. If it is still leaking, I'm going to pull that apart. There is a gasket seal in between those two. Maybe the gasket seal failed. Because that's the only other thing that I can think of. So after a quick tighten up underneath, this is what is left. After a couple runs, and this is just the residual stuff. It is not leaking anymore. And what a pain in the rear. But it's done. It's good. Moving on to the next project. This video is a brief one, but ultimately I just wanted to show you what we did here. I want to take the time to thank everybody who watches this content. If you'd like to see more, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will catch you in the next episode. Peace.